Alright, let's do this, shall we? Let me just settle down and we'll talk about the iPhone 16 Plus. So, hey guys, Harsh here and welcome back to the channel. I've been using the iPhone 16 Plus ever since its launch on day one. I still remember I was on a trip with my family to Ooty and there I found a retailer who was ready to sell the iPhone 16 Plus to me on day one. And that was incredible because this is kind of a ritual, buying the iPhone on day one. I've done it ever since iPhone 11. I think I skipped the iPhone 14 in between. But anyway, ever since iPhone 11, it's a ritual to go to the store on day one and buy the latest iPhone to test it and make videos. See, there is this excitement about new iPhone. Even if the upgrade is small, the excitement level is still there. And I had the exact same excitement while buying the iPhone 16 Plus. Now, you might be wondering why did I go with the iPhone 16 Plus and not the iPhone 16 Pro or Pro Max or even the base iPhone 16? Because if you are a regular on the channel, you know that I prefer smaller phones as compared to bigger phones. I will tell you the exact reason and my entire experience of using the iPhone 16 Plus since day one. I have not scripted this video, I just wanted to sit down and talk about the iPhone 16 Plus. So sit back, relax and have a cup of chai. Alright, so number one question, why did I go with the iPhone 16 Plus? Before this, I was using the iPhone 15 Pro. Absolutely loved that smartphone, especially the cameras on that smartphone. But the number one complaint that I had with the 15 Pro was battery life. It did not even last me an entire day of use. With the end of the day, it would be at like 10% or 5% battery, which was not a good experience, and I decided that the next iPhone I buy have to be a bigger iPhone with a bigger battery. So that left me with two options, either the iPhone 16 Plus or the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I went with the iPhone 16 Plus because I decided to save some money. So I got the 16 Plus, started using it, and instantly the battery life that I was getting was absolutely incredible. In fact, till date, I get really good battery life with this phone. No complaints with it whatsoever. It easily lasts me for like 1.5 days of use. Essentially, I don't have to charge this phone daily. And that is a big peace of mind, especially on travel days. So on travel days, I will charge this phone to like 90-95% battery or even 100%, and then I would forget about it because I know that it will last me for the entire day. Now this bigger battery has one more advantage: battery health. The battery health of this phone is still 100% even after using it for 11 months. The cycle count is just 181, and I think this gives you a very clear idea of the battery life that I'm getting with the 16 Plus. 11 months of use, 181 cycle count and 100% battery health left. And because of that, when I sell this phone to get one of the newer iPhone 17 models, I will get a good price because the battery health is still intact. I think you get the point about battery life. But I wish I could say the same for charging. See, charging speeds are decent with this phone, not the fastest out there. All these Android phones with 90 watt, 120 watt charging have kind of spoilt me. Those phones charge up completely in like 30 minutes. But if I have to charge this phone completely from like 0% to 100%, I need at least an hour. So I hope that Apple increases the charging speeds with the 17 series because that is kind of important at this stage. And normally I use wired charging with this phone. I use a 67 watt PD charger, which is the same charger that I use for my MacBook as well and for my iPad as well. If you've seen my What's in my Tech Bag video, you know about that. Hence, the answer of the question why did I pick the iPhone 16 Plus is battery life. But with the iPhone 17 series, Apple is planning to ditch the Plus model, at least if we believe the leaks and rumors. And there can be only one explanation for this. People are not buying the iPhone 16 Plus as much as Apple want them to buy the 16 Plus. Instead of the Plus this year, we're going to get the iPhone 17 Air. It will be the slimmest iPhone ever, but with a smaller battery. I think Apple has been struggling with the fourth model. They first had the Mini, then the Plus, and now the Air. Let's see which one of them is the best suited and best accepted by people. It will be very interesting to see. But anyway, battery life is done, charging is done. The next thing that I want to talk about with this phone is the camera. Two cameras on the rear side, main, ultra wide, both are awesome and very reliable. See, that's the main thing with iPhone camera, the reliability. So if ever I am in a situation where I quickly want to take out my phone, snap a picture or shoot a video, I will always choose the iPhone for that because I know how reliable the camera is. I exactly know how the picture or video is going to turn out. And that is a very difficult thing to achieve. Over the past year, I've shot a lot of photos and videos with the 16 Plus. In fact, a lot of the thumbnails on this channel have been shot with the 16 Plus. And I also use it as a backup camera for my videos. So whenever I'm shooting a day in the life videos, I either have this camera, which is the A7C, or the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Those are my main cameras. And as a backup camera, I use the iPhone 16 Plus. So if I want to shoot in a place where I cannot remove my camera, for example, inside an aircraft or something like that, that's where I'll use the iPhone to shoot the video. I think that says a lot about the camera side setup. But with that being said, I do miss a telephoto camera on this phone. So my wife uses the iPhone 16 Pro, which has a beautiful 5x telephoto camera, and that camera is absolutely incredible. And I really hope that Apple adds some sort of telephoto camera to this setup as well, because then it would be absolutely amazing. See, most of the phones in the Android world which are competitors of this phone do have a telephoto camera. Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus, Xiaomi 15, even the Vivo X200 FE. Now, there was a new feature announced this year which is audio mix. It basically allows us to edit audio after we shot video. Honestly, in this past year, I've not used this feature much because the built-in microphone, the normal microphone, is great. Sometimes in a noisy environment, I've used audio mix to remove the background noise, and that has worked beautifully. So I've used it a couple of times, but not a lot. And same thing goes for this camera control button. It's a good button, works really well, and I get the intention behind Apple working on this button. But honestly, I've not used it because I don't consider the iPhone as a proper camera. On my normal camera like the A7C, I use all sorts of buttons. But the iPhone is a phone, and I like to use the touchscreen on it. I don't like to use a lot of buttons on my iPhone, and I've not used the camera control as much. I would like to use it more, and every time I decide that I would try it, I end up just going back to touchscreen. So yeah, it's a good button, but not used a lot. And I think this is a common feedback by a lot of people. Then we have photographic styles. This is an interesting one because when Apple first announced this feature, I thought I would be using it all the time. And I was kind of right and wrong about it. See, whenever I want to get a different look in my pictures, I use photographic styles and they work really well. But for the most part, I just click the picture, edit that in Lightroom Mobile or LD, and then upload it. Because photographic styles are great, but they're not the final point for my images at least. Like, I need more control in terms of editing the photo. I'll bottom line this for you by shooting a video with this phone. To bottom line the camera point, I absolutely love using the camera on the iPhone 16 Plus. It is very reliable, high quality, and just works. Now this gets me to the display. Good things first. The display is big, bright and colorful. No issues in terms of outdoor visibility whatsoever. The content consumption experience is also great. So watching YouTube videos, movies on Netflix or F1 races, everything is an immersive experience. I also really like the dynamic island on this phone. The UI is smooth and actually useful. And the display just looks awesome. It is also a very color accurate display. Say for example, I'm editing a photo on my MacBook and I send it over to my iPhone, the colors would be exactly the same. So color matching between Apple products is great, and also they're very color accurate inherently. So no issues in that regard. But in 2025, it still has a 60Hz display. To be honest, I am used to the 60Hz display now. Like, I got used to it in a couple of weeks. But I cannot ignore the fact that it is still a 60Hz display. It's a very smooth 60Hz display. It doesn't lag a lot, but still it is 60Hz. You know, as soon as I pick up my wife's 16 Pro, which has that 120Hz display, I instantly notice the difference, and that's when I feel very bad. I don't feel so bad while using Android phones which have 120Hz display, but as soon as I pick up that 16 Pro, that's when I notice the difference. I hope this year with the regular 17 Apple adds 120Hz, because the leaks say that they will, but every year the leaks say that they will and they don't. Let's see what happens in September. Alright, now I'm getting to the performance and software. See, software wise, this phone shipped with iOS 18, which was great, but now it has iOS 26, and that is even better. With the beta 1, people were concerned about liquid glass and the readability, but with the beta 6, which is the latest developer beta, that concern is kind of vanished away. Apple has improved iOS 26 a lot. It is very refined, stable, with good battery life. Honestly, the latest update does not feel like a beta update. It is that stable. And liquid glass has come to a stage where it looks awesome and works really well. And the entire system has been changed in terms of look. I made a dedicated YouTube short about this. If you want to watch that video, you can go ahead and watch that video. I actually cannot wait for people to download the stable version, which will come in September, and then they will realize what I'm talking about. And while we're talking about good things, the performance with iPhone 16 Plus has been top class. A18 chipset, very good performance, no lags whatsoever. And this is what happens with iPhone. When you first get an iPhone, you're really happy with the performance, and once you start using it, you kind of get used to the performance. And the prime example here are two apps, Instagram and Snapchat. So whenever I want to upload an Instagram story or Instagram reel, that's when I will use the iPhone 16 Plus. No matter what, I would use this phone because it just works. And I think that says a lot about the performance of this phone. It is absolutely amazing and very smooth. Which gets me to the little things. IP68 rating on this phone, no issues in terms of water and dust whatsoever. In fact, I have used this phone a lot around water and nothing has been damaged so far. But still, please be careful around water with this phone, because if it gets damaged with water, Apple won't give you a free replacement. It has an IP rating, but doesn't mean that is covered under warranty. Similarly, the build quality is awesome, glass sandwich design, and I really like this white color. The buttons are clicky and tactile. Have a listen. And while we're on the topic of buttons, I really like the action button as well. It's a customizable button which can be used for anything. I still use it as a mute switch, but I do like the idea of having, this customizable button. It is actually useful. I think I need to sum up my experience of using this iPhone 16 Plus for 11 months. If I had to give just one line about it, I would say that this is a super reliable smartphone. And I think that is one of the main reasons why people keep going back to iPhones even when there are small upgrades. It just works and is a very reliable smartphone. And that's why I am really excited to test out the upcoming iPhone 17 series as well. Hopefully this year I'll go with the 17 Pro Max because there will be no Plus. That makes me a bit sad, but on the other hand, I am also excited to test out the iPhone 17 Air. So yeah, that's been it. This was my long-term review of the iPhone 16 Plus. A really candid review. I did not script at all. I just had some pointers written on my diary here, like these pointers, and no script. I just wanted to be candid with you guys, and I hope I've done that. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel because that would mean the world to me. My name is Harsh Punjabi, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye bye.